Hello fellow listeners and happy Friday to you. This video does actually not contain fry on purpose, though I know for a fact that there will be, not know for a fact, but I am very sure that I will get photobombed. In fact, there's one right now in the background of this video. Will be photobombed by a guppy fry, so it's already happened. But purpose of this week's Friday video is to show you the progress and preparation for breeding and producing fry of the super red bristlenose pleco. Mainly this male you see in front of you right here. Once again, I got these super red bristlenose plecos. I think they're, what are they, L144s and sister species of plecos. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments below. But anyways, this male that is currently going through the green beans like a ball pit, for those of you that remember those back in the day, my gosh, they were germ infested. And what would happen if we had them now and kids are going through with all this flu that's going around? But anyways, this male here is obviously a male. Look at those nice extended bristles. Has been preparing for breeding. He's been growing. I've been feeding them green beans on a fairly regular basis, every day, giving them some algae wafers, zucchini every once in a while. They don't like it as much, but and also they've had some wood to munch on. As you see, I'm munching on the piece of driftwood I got from behind our school. That was just a stick that was obviously not a maple or a evergreen. So the rule I've always heard is as long as it doesn't have sap or sap or resin or whatever, it'll be safe. So hardwoods are basically what I try to stick to when it comes to putting driftwood, locally sourced, locally collected in the wild driftwood. But how do these males prepare for breeding? Because as my students enjoy hearing and female coworkers that I work with enjoy hearing, they love hearing, and I love watching their reactions whenever I tell them about how these fish breed. The way that they breed is that a male, such as what you see right here, I'll show you a female. There's a female over on this new log right here. There's a female, I think. Wait, maybe not. Hold on. Yeah, that's not the female, is it? No. There's a female right there, and there's a female in the back there. But the females are lacking the bristles on their nose. But anyways, the male will prepare for breeding by cleaning out his man cave. You see here is what I call his man cave. You see it is filled with gravel and snails and sometimes guppies that are creeping. And this is not a suitable place, in their opinions, to breed. So about 2 weeks ago, I noticed the male that I just had on video was in the other cave, which I will show you. And he was in there. I was like, that's a good sign. He's been hanging out around there. But he has been in this cave right here. Now, the cool thing is that, if you can notice, let's see if I can put it on him. You can look really closely. At the cave, he has cleaned it out. Sorry, I'm trying to get it. Yeah, let's see if we can get some light in there. Notice how, I mean, for a fish, that's pretty clean. I'll get it focus. No, look, it's another male watching. He's like, look, that's a pretty clean cave. You're right. There's a few snails, a few bits of gravel, a few bits of mulm, not mulm, but just, you know, a little bit of mess. But compared to this cave over here, that cave on the left is immaculate. Well, not immaculate, but this cave is clean. Obviously there aren't any males in there yet, but what the male will do is the male will clean out, prepare his man cave, as I call it. He will go in there, and once he starts staying in there, he'll eventually entice or attract a female to come in there with him. Once she comes in there, he will trap her in there until she releases her eggs, which at that point, I always watch my girl students and female coworkers I guess I could have said female students and female coworkers. I always see the reaction on their face like, "Oh, that's so messed up," but I'm like, "No, just wait. You'll like the ending." So once the female releases the eggs, he will let her go. He will fertilize the eggs, and then she is free to swim off while he raises the young. And at that point, you immediately see my female students and coworkers get super relieved. I'm like, "Oh, that's really neat," and they really like it. And my male students are always like, "Oh, that's kind of cool, but man, it stinks for him." That's what they always say, or something like that. So, anyways, wanted to show you that this male right here is the one I have seen preparing this cave on the left. Cave on the right is not really been claimed yet, although no, that's not the male. The other male, I'll show you the other male, since his bristles are a little bit more clear right now from the angle he's at. His bristles are starting to grow a little bit better, a little bit more obvious than in the last shot. But if I could just get one of the females to be more visible, well, here's one as I speak about it. Here's a female. She is smaller and does not have any bristles on her nose. See? No bristles. It's a female. Another female is on the cave, as we saw before. Once again, she is smaller and she does not have bristles on her nose. No bristles. Sorry for how cloudy and murky this tank is. It is due to the fact that, first off, I just fed them some green beans, which my followers on Instagram, a few of them are getting confused. Whenever I post pictures of these, they think I'm feeding my plecos French fries, which they're not French fries. That would really pollute the water and probably kill the fish, just like they, kill people with heart attacks and everything. But, so anyways, I just fed them some green beans, as you see here, the French cut green beans. As you see, the snails love them, and plecos love them, and guppies wish they could eat them, but they can't fit them in their mouths. And then I also added this new piece of driftwood I found at the James River in Richmond when I was there a few weeks ago. I've had it outside soaking in a container full of water, one of my summer tubs, waiting for it to sink. And I noticed this morning it finally sunk. So gave them something new to munch on. But good news is that when I do expand to a second tank, I will have a second pretty substantial size of driftwood ready for them to start munching on, because it is important for Bristlenose plecos and a lot of other ancestral species to have wood and fibrous wood to be able to munch on to aid in digestion. That being said, it also makes it so that they defecate, they release waste, solid waste, they poop a lot, which is why it's important to keep their gravel. I gravel vac this once a week or so, and I'll probably do it again now that it's cloudy, do a water change to clear up the water a little bit and to clear up some of the waste. This is their weekend feeding, because as Corey from Aquarium Co-op and Corvus Ocean were talking about apparently on their live stream, the difficulties or the downfalls of having a tank in your classroom is, well, one, I leave for the weekend, and two, when I leave for the summer. Well, when I leave for the weekend, I just don't feed them. I give them one last feeding before I go to hold them over the weekend, and other than that, they eat whatever they can scavenge and find in the rest of the tank. Less food equals less water pollution, less problems with the water chemistry. But I do give them one last meal. I might top off a little bit more green beans, because these green beans will be gone by tomorrow morning, because the snails will finish off whatever the plecos do not eat. The other thing that Corey and Corvus Ocean mentioned were the fact of leaving for the summertime. In the summertime, I bring my fish home. I take the tanks down and I bring the fish home and keep them in my summer tubbing. I will have summer tubs for the super red Bristlenose plecos this summer. I will have a mutt guppy tub. I will have a Pistogramma cockatoides tub, separate buckets probably for each pair, with lots of hiding places for the fry. There'll be lots of microorganisms in there for them to feed on, so I'm hoping that that does increase the amount of breeding. I do plan to step up my game this summer, as inspired by Rob Hicks from Rob Hicks Aquarium, to have some air stones in there, which will be nice. And thanks to Aquatic Jack, I now have a 100-gallon stock tub. I'm not sure what I'll put in there. It'll probably be this tank, actually. It'll probably be the Bristlenose plecos, and they'll be able to get whatever falls to the bottom along with some green beans, and put some wood in there. I'll keep the koi swordtails in there, keep the guppies. Obviously the mutt guppies will be in there, and that's probably it, I guess. And I'll probably keep the my other strains of guppies, the panda guppies and the blonde guppies, in separate in the 17-gallon buckets. But the rope handle buckets. But once again, I'll be adding air stones this summer, so hoping that'll improve things. I might even get, if I can find it in the budget, to get another 100-gallon stock tub to put out in the driveway, and I'll have a lot more plants to put in it. I already have water lettuce and dwarf water lettuce and lots of duckweed, so they'll have lots of cover this summer, a lot more than last summer. So I'm pretty hopeful about that, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you want to stay tuned, there's a nice shot from the other male. Yeah, the other male. But anyways, be sure to stay tuned for that, and to be notified whenever that happens. And whenever these super red Bristlenose plecos do breed, be sure to click the bell down below to turn on notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Follow me on Instagram. I do, tend to post on there more often than I do on YouTube, because posting a picture is a lot faster and easier than posting a video. So be sure to do that, and like, comment, subscribe, share, and check out my links below to my local fish club, my channel t-shirts, my Amazon affiliate links, etc., etc. And please let me know if you have any questions below. I love to answer questions, and I usually will answer question comments faster than I will answer comments. So if you have any questions, just let me know down below, or message me on Facebook, MrScienceGeek, my page on there, or pop in on Instagram and ask me a question on there. I'll answer those pretty quickly as well. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. So stay tuned and stay fishy, people.